Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome. Welcome to the garden. Welcome to Garden Conversations with Rose. On today, December 16. This means that there are only 14 days left this beautiful year. And we're all set to start 2026. As is customary, we've always got a word for you as we close off the current year and look forward to the incoming year. So, of course, everybody should know how important support is. Support is vital for our interaction and engagements. As social beings, we were meant to live in tribes and communities and interact to hold each other up in the pursuance of the common good. And also when we ourselves are failing, falling, or just need a little boost. And so, of course, I'm a big proponent of support. Leaders, in particular, in any organization, thrives best on the support or with the support of subordinates, colleagues, and others within the organization in order to make things work. But of course, we are all aware that as humans, sometimes support isn't forthcoming. Sometimes others around us aren't in agreement with what we're doing, and therefore they will either take a step backward or ultimately shut us out. Sometimes we come under fire when decisions do not always please who want them to be pleasing to them. Sometimes we've got to stand alone because there isn't any support. And it can be a very lonely time and a very traumatic time as well for anybody. But I want to submit to all of us this morning as we close off 2025 and enter into 2026 that being alone doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. And on occasions, we will encounter situations where we have to do it alone, going solo, as I call it sometimes. Sometimes going solo can have immense benefits. So as to encourage all of us within the next 14 days and even into 2026, I've got this word for you. Encourage yourself. I'm reminded of David in the Bible when decisions he had made were not pleasing to those around him and he was left all alone. But the verse says, but David encouraged himself in the Lord. So I want to leave this word with you. And of course, I love to use the letters of words as a reminder to what they mean. And so, of course, I'm going to use the letters in the word encourage to give you a little inspiration as you close off 2025 and start into 2026. Encourage yourself. And so, for the letter E, the word I have for you is ease. Here, ease is used as a verb, an actual word. So, I want to tell you to ease yourself out of your debilitating mindsets and the self-sabotage. If you think that you aren't able, you are well able. You may not be able to do it immediately or all at once. You may have to take baby steps. But I want to encourage you to ease yourself out of that mode that is keeping you back because you're in a mission to encourage yourself. You may very well need it. And so we move on to the letter N. As we ease ourselves, we are aware that all around us there can be naysayers and assassins of character and belief. So I want to tell you with the letter N, never for 1 minute allow yourself to be boxed in and restricted because of those would-be naysayers and even those that are right there. You've got to encourage yourself. And so we move on to the letter C. Even when you know that you aren't going to be boxed in, you've got to have something to work with. So, what are you going to do with the letter C? You are going to create and commit to a feasible plan of action to allow you to progress. You've got to have that plan of action. What is it you're going to do as you attempt to encourage yourself? For the letter O, even if you have a plan that is feasible, you have got to dig deep. So for the letter O, I am encouraging you to open up very widely. That willpower reserve you will require the willpower to press on. Even as you attempt to encourage yourself, that reserve is very full. You'd be amazed and surprised at how much your willpower can take you through as you encourage yourself. And of course, you've got the willpower, but you've got to speak it. So for the letter U, I need you to remember to utter those positive words that are well positioned to propel you to your forward movements. Encourage yourself. Utter those positive words. When we think of the letter R, even if you uttering those words, you have to constantly and consistently reaffirm your commitment for success. And you can do so, as we initially said, verbally, but you may want to think of graphically, do some illustration, some diagram. Because, of course, many of us are different learners, and we can get through various means. And certainly, you may want to reaffirm those commitments in literary form. You may need to write it down in point form, as prose, or as poetry, whatever means literary. You have to reaffirm. And so we persist with the letter A. Arm yourself with ample doses of awareness. Be aware of what you're going to tackle. Be aware of what may be around you, even as you proceed to encourage yourself. And then, as you're aware, you've got to give yourself some grace. Even if you've got your well sort of plan and you're committed and you have those utterances and you are not boxing yourself in, there may be temporary failures or some periods of hesitancy. But of course, you're human. So I want you to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace as you proceed and encourage yourself. And finally, with the letter E, as you go forward with your pronouncements and your commitment and not boxing yourself in and your reaffirmations, I need you to remember for the letter E to experience that fulfillment and enjoy it as well. Experience and enjoy the fulfillment of knowing that you are worthy, you have worth, and of course, you are well able to achieve and succeed. Encourage yourself. Let's do a quick recap. Ease yourself out of that mindset that is self-sabotaging. You may do so in baby steps or according to how you're able. Never for 1 minute allow yourself to be boxed in by the would-be and current naysayers. Create and commit to a feasible plan, a plan of action for your progress. Open up widely that willpower reserve that is ready to assist you as you move forward. Utter those positive words that are well positioned to propel you forward. Reaffirm your commitment for success in verbal form, graphically, or in literary form. It will serve as a reminder for where you need to go. Arm yourself with ample doses of awareness as you proceed so you can be sure of what is around you and how you're going to maneuver and manage yourself. And of course, even when there are periods of hesitancy, and of course, temporary failures, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. You're human. But certainly, as you go down into the letter E, the final E, experience and of course enjoy the fulfillment that comes along believing in your worth, your success, achievement. Encourage yourself for the last 2 weeks of 2025 and into 2026.